Let me provide some opening remarks. As a preliminary matter, this is Vivian Shu, Chair of the Needham Personnel Board. I'd like to confirm that all members and persons anticipated in the agenda are present and can hear me. Richard Lanetta,
Yes.
Joseph Herlihy,
Yes.
and then for the town staff, when I call your name, if you could respond in the affirmative. Kate Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Rachel Glisper,
Yes.
Chuck Murphy, Ramboletti.
Yes.
All right. I don't believe we have any anticipated speakers tonight. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Us in the party. All right. Well, good evening. This is open meeting of the Needham Personnel Board and is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 20, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. This order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Needham Personnel Board is meeting by Zoom as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. And this meeting is being recorded. All right. So we'll call to order, and we have first on the agenda.
Vivian, did we call to order? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. Yeah. So the first thing on the agenda for us this evening is the elected official salaries for FY22. And so there was some material sent out to the board just ahead of this meeting, and one of the attachments was established elected official salaries. And this is kind of our standard annual where we need you all just to vote on the salary, the town clerk salary. That first line there, if you do have that open, was just brought up consistent with the new salary ranges per the comp and class study. There was no change to the select board chair or select board others. And there's no other financial change for FY22 for the town clerk's position. So the breakout of her compensation is listed below. And so it's pretty standard.
Okay. And we have seen this, I believe,
Yes.
for many, many years now, and we include the footnote number 1 regarding the vacation payout.
Yeah, the breakout. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We designed it, if you remember right, Vivian.
Oh, we
did.
We did a great deal of drafting.
Yeah. We did. Do you
We
need a
did a
motion?
great deal of drafting.
Do you need a
Yeah,
motion?
the
Yeah.
unique situation.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I move that the Personnel Board recommend adoption of article entitled Elected Official Officer Salaries, as with the amounts as stated in the warrant.
Joe, you're muted.
I was seconding that motion.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Richard Lanetta,
Aye.
Joe Herlihy,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion carries. It is a pass.
All right, thank you very much. The second on our agenda item is the adoption of the classification and compensation in accordance with section 20B V of the town charter. And so just to just a little cut up to where we are before we get to the motion, you all had an opportunity to hear from GovHR and a presentation on the comp and class study. But just ahead of this meeting, we sent you the final report. for your review. Since that last time we spoke to you, we did make just a few changes per the appeal process. There was a formal appeal process, which we had mentioned to you. And so with that, there were 7 changes in grade and 4 changes in title, 3 red circled titles, and 9 appeals that were denied, for a total of 23 appeals that came in to us. And that was really all the changes that were made. And all of that is in that updated report, final report that you all have a copy of now.
Very good.
And so, and then Vivian, you have that motion, correct?
Do have the motion. Is there any further discussion about the report? I had one quick question, Rachel.
Sure.
In what areas were those appeals?
It was kind of scattered out, Vivian. So we had some in DPW. We had some administrative positions that were kind of scattered throughout the organization. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think, Chuck, am I missing anybody?
No,
Yeah, so I guess maybe primarily DPW,
yeah, majority in DPW.
majority.
They are the largest grouping of the study. So, and the majority were based on internal equity. They felt their classification wasn't graded accurately. And then there were some about title changes. Either wanted a new title or did not agree with the title that the recommended was recommended.
And were those appeals generally supported by the managers or the division heads?
Yes, the managers weighed in on each appeal that came in. And so then HR worked with GovHR, and we kind of put together a presentation for town managers to review what our final recommendations were to them based on.
Excellent. Excellent. I have a proposed motion that was in the packet with respect to the classification and compensation plan. And within that, it also includes a little bit of a shift that I've had some conversation about with town staff regarding approvals of reclassification changes within the classification plan by the Director of Human Resources and the town manager. And this would obviate the need for them to come to us with proposals to make changes in the plan within those parameters only. They will continue to come, and we will, as a personnel board, continue to review and make recommendations on new titles that are added to the comp plan and classification plan, as well as future changes to the compensation plan. Does anybody have any discussion about that?
Okay.
Okay. So do you all have in front of you the proposed vote motion in the materials?
Yes.
Okay. And the only modification there, Rachel, would be to include the date of the final GovHR report. And that would be March 2021. If there are no questions or further discussion regarding this, I'll entertain a motion.
I will move to move this vote that it's in writing for the proposed vote for the personnel board meeting concerning the classification and compensation plan of GovHR.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And to confirm, Joe Herlihy,
Yes.
Rick Lanetta,
Yes.
And the chair, Vivian Shu, votes yes.
Vivian, could I just say that, if you don't mind, the amazing amount of work that Rachel and Chuck have put into this project. I think it was funded in 2017. We were really gung ho. COVID, kind of ground it to a complete halt. We've had, which was very difficult, I think, for them in DPW. We had a significant change in staffing, and that always is difficult, and they managed right through that. And I have to say, for the number of these I've been through,
Yeah.
there's been the fewest amount of real hand wringing than I can remember. I think that the team picked a consultant who was just so believable and dependable that people were like, okay, I get it. So really kudos to them for this. It's great to have it done, and we just have to implement and bargain.
Yep.
Well, it's from my perspective, after more than 20 years on the board and seeing, okay, I think we're at 25 now. And see, I have to go check my appointment letter. But we have been through many iterations of this process. And so, it's interesting to hear your very quick summary, almost snappy summary of the appeals process, given the laborious nature of what we've seen in the past, to say the least. And that doesn't even touch the laborious nature of the compensation and classification plan. It was always an exercise akin to basically going for a tooth extraction.
I made it sound snappy, Vivian, but there was
A little drama.
there was a little drama. We just spared you the drama.
Well,
Much though.
that's
Well-
fabulous. Spare us the drama. That's I'm all for it.
I figured you'd appreciate that.
I fondly remember one of the very first times we had a meeting with the original designer of the old compensation classification plan. And I believe, Kate, we were wedged into the office of the health department because we couldn't find meeting space. And it was a long, skinny room, and we were basically sitting side by side.
Trying to remember his name.
John Butzel.
How do you remember that? I don't. It's too much in my head. Only plan. Yep.
I guess the good news is that I just keep adding RAM. I don't know.
Good for you.
But yeah, that was quite the adventure. And Chuck, at some point we will have to share some of the stories from those moments and some of the stories from some of the appeals we've heard over the years. Some of them were warranted and some were not. And it was always quite dramatic, actually.
Yeah.
So
Lots of tears.
Vivian,
I'm sorry.
let me know.
Tears.
When you do that, when you do those reviews, let me know, because I'll choose root canal over going.
Okay.
we're just gonna tell the funny stories. That's all. We're just gonna go down some memory lane. But kudos to all of you. I mean, Kate, this was also something that was in your wheelhouse for so many years, and
Yeah.
Something that I know that you've been very intent on getting done. And I know it's been something in process for several years now, COVID or no COVID. I mean, I remember when we were meeting to select the vendor in the Great Hall.
Yeah.
And having and sitting there talking through. I'm delighted that you had options. I'm pleased that you selected a vendor that that many other communities I know and have worked with have used, and there's some credibility and validity to all of that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
great work. And I anticipate that you had less drama because you worked very closely with the department heads on their job descriptions. So great.
We'll be back to talk to you about the collective bargaining aspects, maybe even before town meeting. We're still trying to, but we'll see.
Is that where we're saving the drama?
Oh, no, it's just a matter of, timing, because, it's a timing issue with collective bargaining, and town meeting is a month from Thursday, which is really a scary thought. So.
Happy spring.
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments about this wonderful process? So, moving on.
Moving on. Chuck, the approval of minutes, do you want to
Sure.
over
Yeah.
there? Thanks.
Yet another
Moving-
laborious task to catch us up.
Moving backwards, now we're on fiscal year 17, I believe. Yeah, fiscal year 17, there were only 3 sets of minutes. There were a handful of cancellations that year. There are 3. So there's September 29th, 2016, December 6th, 2016, and March 23rd, 2017.
All right, why don't we take them in chronological order?
When did we move from papyrus to parchment? Was that in 16, 17, or 18? When was that?
Sorry, from the what?
Yeah, I didn't hear him. What did he say?
From papyrus to paper.
To paper.
Oh.
Well, now we've gone to digital. So there you go.
Right.
So is the first set December 6th, 2016?
Yeah, sorry. Actually, September 29th, 2016.
Yeah,
Just call that up.
this was a morning meeting, if to jog your memories.
Yeah, look at that. 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, I remember those. And Chris was,
That was Christopher for you. He liked the morning.
well, I
I
think it
can
was,
barely remember that meeting.
I think we were working with train schedules and commutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Has everybody had a chance to review?
Yes.
Okay.
Need a motion, Vivian?
Please.
I move to accept these minutes as written.
Yeah, I will second that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Joe Herlihy,
yes.
Rick Lanetta,
Yes.
and Vivian Shu, the chair votes yes. Thank you. They've been adopted.
And next would be December 6th, 2016, evening 6:30 meeting.
I'll move to accept the minutes as written.
But you know what, I'm going to point something out. I find this interesting. In the minutes of the December 6th meeting, we approved the September 29th minutes that we just approved again. Oh, well.
Yeah.
They're approved, all right.
Double approved. Okay, well,
Approved.
let's not
Very
look back.
good. Okay,
I remove
keep
my
moving
motion.
forward. Yeah.
Good catch. Good
We've
catch.
ratified that vote. How's that?
Perfect.
I will move to approve the minutes of the December 6th, 2016 meeting.
I second it.
In favor? Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Roll call, Rick Lanetta,
Yes.
Joe Herlihy.
yes.
Yes, thank you.
And then finally, March 23rd, 2017, 6:30 should be PM.
Like 6:30 a.m., but it should be.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think we ever met that early.
We were meeting
No.
that early.
Yes, yeah.
30 PM.
Well, this is a fairly simple meeting. I'm going to move to approve the minutes of the March 23rd, 2017 meeting with the one correction, Chuck, you mentioned.
I'll second that with correction.
It's hard to believe that was 4 years ago, and we were dealing with the same pieces of business, if you will. Compensation and classification, as well as the elected official salaries.
Yeah.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Rick Lanetta,
Aye.
Joe Herlihy,
Yes,
Vivian Shu votes yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Are we caught up with our minutes now, Chuck? I know you've been working very hard on this.
Just about. There were some sporadic ones going back, and then, but yeah, just about. I think there's might be one or two in FY16, but we should be good after that.
Okay, great. I just want to mention a side note. I'm looking, at the minutes and I, realized it was long enough ago. It was before Patty's passing when we lost one of our members. And we were already down 2 vacancies because Barry Pollock resigned from the board or stopped coming. Rachel, do you remember when that was? Because we've had that opening for quite a while.
I never met Barry.
I believe he attended one meeting and
one
I'm not
meeting.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
And in fact, in that year, I think we had to cancel a couple of meetings because we did not have a quorum, even though we were in town hall. So Kate, I know, in URI, we've been chatting about the recruitment for open positions on boards and committees. And I think somebody needs to get to Michael Fee. So, because it's difficult having 2 vacancies. Notwithstanding that I, know that we have all worked together for a very long time and we continue to provide you with the best advice we can provide from our purchase. I think it would be beneficial to have other views.
As soon as we get through town meeting, we can reach out and see if we could do a joint recruitment for those positions and others.
Great. Because now that Rick's retired, he can afford to be on 2 boards.
Yeah. It's interesting. I was chatting with my wife a little ago, and I don't know what was shortchanged. I don't know if work was shortchanged or FinCom and personnel were shortchanged, but I'm quite curious how I did them all at the same time and did them well. So in any event, to your point, I do have some time.
Well, we still have work to do, particularly if some of the plans that URI is proposing go through at town meeting.
Good.
Rachel made a great presentation to URI 2 weeks ago, I believe, about recruitment efforts on behalf of the town.
Good.
Okay. Do we have any other new business? No?
No,
No.
Kate, did you have anything else? Rachel, Chuck, nothing?
No.
Thank you
Right
for,
now.
No.
thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you.
Time
Absolutely.
to prepare for town meeting,
Yeah,
the election and town meeting.
yes. Lots of changes.
All right, very good. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Thank you, Rick Lanetta.
You're welcome.
Joe Hurley
Okay, thanks.
We'll count
and
that.
Vivian Shu votes yes.
We'll count that as a vote.
Count that